Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. This is your girl, Shretha, and we are live on the couch here with Chris Bostic. And tonight's conversation is about legacy, not the one you inherit, but the one you build, and also surviving in multiple different ways. So, Chris, introduce yourself to the people.
For those who don't know me, my name is Chris Bostic. I don't want to say born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida, but spent a lot of my time here in Fort Myers, well over 20 years. And, just grateful. I'm a father, entrepreneur, just somebody who is invested in the community and its, forward upbringing. And I'm just grateful to be here. And I got to say that, Sharita, like, it's still surreal to me to sit on the couch with you after knowing our years of history. I mean, we go
Sandbox days.
Yeah, back to being kids, and just to see how you've grown, and especially knowing some of the trials and tribulations that you've been through in life, to see what you've been able to overcome yourself, and just sharing this space with you. I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you for saying yes.
Yes.
Because it's trial and error right now, but more trial than error, though. Just understand that. So let's get into it. So what was it like growing up as a son of a youth pioneer?
It's really...
And in case you guys are wondering, his dad is Mr. Gary Bostic, just been in the community for like well over 40 years. Because, we look good, though, but, don't let that fool you,
Yeah, no, wholeheartedly. It's been an experience. And the reason I say that is when you're growing up, you don't realize the sacrifices that really go into being part of a community like we are here in Fort Myers. As a youth, it was and
we grew up in Lehigh.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it was different. It was like everyone knew you when you went to the store.
Right.
Your parents showed up. You couldn't do anything without another parent seeing you and telling your parent. So it was a real good community, and I'm thankful for how that was.
Yeah, super old school. But my dad was a great example of what a father was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
not
that was
for you, but
not for a lot of kids in the community. It was a big challenge in the community, just having that role model that somebody could follow. And I just remember back then guys like Walt Wesley, and then seeing my dad come up, and attending the Stars Complex every summer. And, just seeing what he was able to cultivate amongst the youth has been incredible. And, not just my father, my mother too. My mom was also the executive director of Immokalee Child Care Center for over 20 years, So it's just like both my parents have been so invested in what's happened in the youth in the community.
2 counties.
Oh yeah, 2 counties. So it's been an incredible journey to kind of watch that. And
that's awesome. So what lessons were modeled for you without even being spoken that you didn't realize then that you realize now as an adult?
That's a great way to put it, because I was going to get to that. Most of my youth years, I think I struggled trying to really understand what that was. You know what I mean? Like as a teen, and especially growing up in this area when there wasn't a lot of opportunity, wasn't a lot to do. How Lehigh was back then. I mean, I think we were running around way too much. And, but now as an adult, now as a father, and just seeing the foundation that they've laid, seeing how my father is still working with the Youth Coalition, still very active in the youth's lives, trying to help them transition. It's really sparked in me in finding that need from 18 to 24 years old, like right out of high school. That's where I fell in the gap.
Yeah.
And even though I had my own shortcomings, I think from the time I turned 18, I fell flat on my face, but it was the best fall on my face I had. That really started my journey in recognizing what foundation my parents had really laid, and the importance of making a smooth transition from high school to life.
Right. Yeah. Understandable. So can you share a moment where life showed you needed to slow down?
Yeah, 100%. So, I'd like to say my life is like Forrest Gump. I've lived many different variations of it, but one in particular is right when I came back from the military, 2009. I was just as reckless, I have to admit, went through a lot of post-traumatic stress. You don't really pick up on it, but I would say like a year or so after I got out of service, in particular, it was the one night I decided I was going to go out and about on the town with my friends where I wasn't going to go out and drink.
Wow.
And in going out, it was also the one night where one of my close friends suggested I put on a seatbelt because I was the guy that used to tuck it behind me. I was just, I was reckless. And I put on my seatbelt, and slowly after that took place, we ended up in a head-on collision with a drunk driver. who hit us
Wow.
at 95 miles an hour. And at the last second, I was able to make just a slight turn, and it went down the whole side of my vehicle. And it caused a
Mhm.
7-car pileup. Thank God we weren't injured to that magnitude, but that
Wow.
was a big wake up call for me.
How old were you then?
Oh man, I was mid-20s.
Okay.
Mid-20s, yeah. Yeah. So it was just one of those wake up calls where I realized life can be gone in an instant.
Right.
And it really started me off on that journey to saying I got to do something different.
Right. So what did you start chasing after that?
Um,
Or what did you stop chasing? Either or.
Validation. It was the
Mm.
validation that needed to go. It was like when I was out and about in the club life, you're running around, you're looking for the attention.
Right.
I was the guy that could afford to get a little attention.
Right.
And in doing that, you just attracted the wrong attention. So I knew I needed to make a shift. Now, I did have some things going, but nothing over the top.
Mhm.
I was still, just kind of aimlessly tackling things in life. But it really got me curious about what if I put my effort into entrepreneurship?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So with that shift and that realization and you transforming and having that wake up call, you're a girl dad.
Listen, for all my girl dads out there, I was always the dad who first and foremost wanted to have a healthy, happy baby.
Right.
But I always said I wanted to have my boys. I wanted to teach them all the boys stuff. And God is forever good in his choices on how he helps work with us. And one thing that girls have done for me is teach me something I never thought I needed. And that was a new level of patience. Yeah, new level of patience. And although I'm not 100% on that, they have taught me I need to slow down. Right. And I need to take that time. Mm-hmm. And I can work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week if you let me. But they have taught me that life is so precious and how to be more gentle in my approach to handling certain things. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So with being a girl dad and with being a father in general, what lessons are you installing in your girls that you didn't realize you needed until you hit adulthood?
Right. No, 100%. It's challenging because I'm still one of those military dads. Like I had to learn patience on that level.
Because you got girls.
I got girls.
He got girls.
Yeah, I'm teaching them to be tough. I don't want my girls out here, getting ran over.
But you have that soft, there's always that soft spot.
Yeah.
Especially being a military dad. You're like, okay.
I think the biggest one is we're living in a time where kindness is lacking. And, my youngest in particular, my oldest is sweet as pie, but my youngest in particular, she has a unique way to get at people's heart. And I make it a focus to have her maintain that. Like at her school, she just won what they call Bear of the Week. It's, it's a little achievement, but it was for kindness. And it made me feel so proud because she's always thinking of others before herself. And that was something that took me a long time to do. I always did that indirectly, but I did it as a doormat. Mm-hmm. I never did it just because that's what I wanted to do and had my own path to go. So
let's talk about building something that didn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're into sustainable housing and green building. Let's talk about that. Like, what are you building that people did not realize were there?
Well, to be truthful, it wasn't something that came across my plate until I met my partner, Mr. Zach England. But then again, him and we grew up in the church together. We like to tell this story about how we used to fish with fishing string tied around our hands and pieces of bread and stuff because we just we didn't have poles, but we were able to reconnect throughout the years. Mm-hmm. And for me, I do contracting work, building pool enclosures, doing any kind of custom aluminum work. And for him, he was focused on roofing. However, he had stepped into that solar and self-sustainable space, and it piqued my curiosity. And I was able to kind of piggyback off of the momentum he had created, and we created this beautiful partnership. We created just some momentum in the space, and I love the ideas that we're now coming across with his expertise and connections that I'm able to kind of bring to the table. We've been able to really build something. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you balance growth, integrity, and expansion beyond the Southwest Florida? Because solar is one of those things that people are like, oh, no, 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 no. So how are you building that integrity back up? Because you are a man of integrity yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And once again, this is all about transparency. I've done things that have jeopardized my integrity. But I think it's about accountability.
Right.
And I think accountability is one of the hardest things to do, and not the accountability where you feel you did something wrong. It's accountability when somebody tells you did something wrong and you don't agree with it. But you know it's true, or multiple people tell you. So honoring that, it's just important to follow through. If you say you're going to do it, do it.
Okay, true. So listen, a little birdie told me. A little birdie told me that someone is on the verge of becoming a best-selling author pretty soon.
I am on the way to do that. Absolutely. One thing I know about myself is I love to share knowledge. I believe it's so important, no matter what level of achievement you hit in life. It's not about financial success or, any kind of success. I just think it's important. If you know something, send the elevator back down.
Right.
So it's just really sharing my journey, man. How to help people find purpose and align with purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and though you come from a youth pioneer, are you doing any programming, any youth work, anything besides being a girl dad? Or is that something that you were like, nah, I had to share my pops, so I'm gonna make sure my girls will have to share mine?
No, I mean, absolutely. I've had the blessing and privilege to, just play my role in a couple of people's lives. Like Mr. Dedrick Douglas is one. He was, I met him when he was 16 years old, and his story is absolutely incredible. Matter of fact, he's on his second book right now. I'm so proud of the accomplishments that he's created. Got his master's degree, great job at Amazon. And just to know that I was able to play a role in his story has helped me really kind of jump into that space with that 18 to 24-year-old age group. And it's just, you run into people along the way, and I just help as I can. But there are guys like 13-3 Ministries where, I love Josh and what he's got going on over there. And I'm trying to, play more of a role and helping you there.
So, I'm going to circle back around to this book because I don't like how the way you just breezed on by. Like you just breezed on by. We had other conversations. Can you share a little more insight? Like, goodness.
Yeah, no.
Y'all see how he just breezed by that?
Yeah, like my mentor always told me, like, if you want what's on the top shelf, you got to stand on a pile of books. So, I love to read. If you go into my house, it was so funny. I had teens the other day in my house, and I just gave them a bunch of books out of my stuff. I mean, they took 8 or 9 books a piece. But, for me, I wanted to do the opposite of self-help. I think they're a dime a dozen. I think they're in abundance. And I thought it was important for me to share real testimony.
Yeah.
Not about the wins, but the failures, the things I still struggle with. Very raw and transparent. So for some of you readers out there, understand it's definitely rated 17 and up. But it's because I think we need that level of transparency.
Yeah.
The exterior appearance is one thing, but it's important to understand the journey, the integrity, understand the character you have to maintain, the humility that you have to carry along the way, how to properly forgive. That was something that took me until even recent.
Tell them, say that to them.
Recent.
No, before that.
How to forgive
properly. There's a big difference. Because you can forgive and just be like, oh.
Hey.
But it's a difference. Properly forgiving, you're not going to say that.
Yeah, no. And I mean, just to that point, that same gentleman who hit me in the accident, and this is in my book, I'll give you guys a snippet. The same gentleman who hit me in that accident a couple of years later, as I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was at a networking event with a couple business partners of mine, and one of my business partners was introducing me to this guy at the bar.
Wow.
And we ended up talking. And
did you know who hit you?
I had no idea. All I knew was his name from the paperwork.
Really?
And we had a great conversation. He had given his life to Christ, had gotten himself a job and was doing okay for himself. And at the very end, my business partner had called him by name. And in that moment, I had to feel every emotion in that frame. Because I lost my car behind it, obviously. My friends that were in the car ended up having to sue my insurance company.
You almost lost your life.
Yeah, almost lost my life. There's so much to it. But in that moment, I just felt the only words that could come out of my mouth. And I just felt the Spirit reach over me. And I looked at him and I said, I forgive you. And it was the most.
What did he say?
he looked at me and he shed a couple of tears. We both shed a couple of tears, but the release and the relief that we both got in that moment was so much more powerful than drinking the poison and expecting him to die.
Yeah.
So it's forgiveness is necessary in life, and it can be hard. It can be challenging.
Forgiving properly.
But forgiving properly, yes.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I need to work on that myself.
I think we all do. Trust me, there's times where I'm like, I'm sorry. But there are those times where it's like, you're dead wrong and you got to take it on the chin and you got to admit, but then there's times where you got to forgive people because they also make mistakes.
They do. They do. So I love that. So when it comes to, is there a book release date? Can we get a title at least? I know you at least got a title.
Yeah, no, the title is it's Journey Back to Self. And it's really
Journey Back to Self by Chris Bostic.
Yeah, Journey Back to Self. Journey Back to Self. And it really just covers, it's 12 chapters covering everything from, once again, forgiveness, character, integrity, and
it's your life's journey too.
And it's my life's journey. So I'm using real testimony, real experience, multiple businesses that have failed, multiple relationships that have failed, shortcomings of mine. So it's real intimate testimony. But how it aligned me with purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do we have a release month?
Yes, I keep pushing it back.
So now we don't know. So now when you put it out there,
I know.
That's like
Yeah. No. The end of March is my date. So we're looking at March 31st.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I've been pushing it back. It was supposed to be released before Thanksgiving. And then just like any good writer knows, you kind of start reading over it and you're like, no, I'm going to get rid of that and throw it away. But I finally got to a point. It's my first book.
Yeah.
No AI assistance. It can be very challenging. So I'm going to finally release it and just let the raw format do its work. Let God speak to my words. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you for that. So excited for that. He will be having a book launching as well.
Yeah.
I
didn't mention that, but I will be. No, it's exciting because I want to bring everybody into that, and
the first one might not have to be everybody, just because sometimes everybody can't come.
No, it's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Over, you're being exclusive.
Yeah, nobody's excluded. It doesn't matter whether you're young, you're older. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female.
That's my event, you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. It really speaks to the challenges that happen in life at any stage and age. And even though I'm 40 years old, I still feel like a 60-year-old man in my head at times. So just being able to share that experience with any age bracket and just talking to people.
No, I feel bad because I said exclusive. Now I feel bad.
Oh man, it can be. I'll have a party before the party. I have a party before the party.
Yeah, just say it. Yeah. Okay, so what does it look like when it comes to your legacy that is in motion at the moment?
Absolutely. When it comes to my legacy in particular, my legacy is more drawn on impacting people, right? Like I'm a firm believer that if I could just change one life in my lifetime, I've done my work. But that's why I've kind of taken these steps with the book. Or even now, some of you may have seen on my social platform, I post a lot of videos. And the first thing I say on my videos is I just want to thank God for waking me up this morning. I love those videos. Yeah, thank God this morning for inhaling my first breath, for the sunshine beating down on my face and giving me the opportunity to be a better man than I was yesterday. Because part of my legacy is just bettering myself and just sending the elevator back down where I can. Instead of just teaching a man to fish with a fishing pole, it's teaching him how to cast net.
Yeah.
How can we bring more of us together to accomplish, God's work? So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I have enjoyed you on the couch.
Yes.
So it was very deep, very intimate. Journey Back to Self by Chris Bostic will be releasing March 31st.
Yes.
2026?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I love it. So we did have a few people that were on your live. Derek Douglas, Chris Bostic is the man.
Yeah.
So then we have Justice James. Nicely done, nephew. Love the blazer. Yes. And it has, you see the
thanks, Dunk.
on it. I love it. Love
Appreciate
it. Alexis Lucila, my brother. So, Yes. What do you want to leave us with? So, question. Yes. If your life was a song, what would it be at this moment? Not at this moment. I would say over the last 3 months, because quarterly things change every day. But
like what type of music or a specific one?
A song. I said a song.
A song. Okay. All right. Song. So if it was a song, that's a great question. I've never really thought of. No. It would probably be something from the 80s. It would probably be I Wear My Sunglasses at Night. Anybody who knows me knows I am an 80s fan. When I am at like my maximum,
too cool to coming in.
Listen, when I am at my peak state in life, you will hear 80s blaring from the speakers. That is when I am in the greatest of moods. Everything is flowing right. Yeah, but you can put my kids in the car right now. They know every 80s throwback right now.
I love it. No, I'm gonna play that later. I'm gonna play it. I would play it as we get off of here, but no, I can't do it.
Or you know what? Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody. That's one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go blast some 80s. You know, pretty soon here till we get out of here. So Linda Croc said, and really enjoyed this. Want a book when it comes out. From my very wise friend.
Listen, I met Linda on an airplane on the way to Cleveland, Ohio. Really? We sat next to each other and had the greatest of conversation. And I had her book too. And matter of fact, one of my teenagers just picked up that book the other day. It's a poetry book of hers that she had given me. Awesome. So sweet. We're going to do lunch soon.
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Linda, please drop the link to your book in the comments. We would really appreciate that. And we would love for our viewers to support you as well. Yeah. Abdul Muhammad, great job. Love the story and testimony.
Oh, my brother. Thank you so much. Between you and your father, man, y'all have done so much for the community as well.
Yes.
The Quality Life Center has been a pinnacle. Matter of fact, Mr. Dedrick Douglas, I know you're on there too. And you are a product of the Quality of Life Center.
Really?
And yeah.
Oh, that's the young man you were talking about.
Yes, Dedrick's got his book out there, Keeping It 100, and he's got his next book coming out soon.
Nice. Yeah. Please drop your link in the comments. Yeah, we would love to support, and we would love for our viewers to support as well. That is awesome. Yeah. So, all right, sunglasses at night, and ain't nobody. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So it's been a pleasure with having you on the couch. I love you since Sandbox days, since even now, your growth, just everything, your trials, your tribulations, and you being the blueprint for somebody else to get through their trials and tribulations.
You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And you know, just going out of your way to create a platform like this. Like I said, I know your testimony, and you know, it's an incredible journey, and to share the couch with you. I can't wait until we turn this into a studio. I can't wait. Next year.
Thank you. All right, beautiful people. This is Sharitha live on the couch with Mr. Chris Bostic. Remember, his book, Journey Back to Self, is going to be launching March 31st, 2026. Until next Friday, we will have Lacey Kelly, who is the queen of aerial and pole fitness. You guys have a wonderful weekend and be safe. Okay, so this is where, hold on, this is the part of live streaming. Let's see, I have a thank you button. Thank you. And then we have some custom music.